everyone, and welcome to Plattsburgh.com, hometown cable coverage of high school football. Opener of the 2010 season. We're at the Plattsburgh High School Athletic Complex as the Hornets get ready to host the Beekmantown Eagles. I'm Rick Knowles, your host for tonight's game. Kendall Matat is with us on camera. In just a moment, we're going to be picking up the audio call from Hometown Radio, WIRY, with Ducky Drake and Rob Knowles. So sit back, relax, and enjoy high school football as Plattsburgh High School gets set to host the Beekmantown Eagles.
Eagles will be kicking off left to right. With the Tanner doing the kicking for Beekmantown. Nope, wrong again. Won't be the first or last time. Derek Fleming, I think, is doing it.
Now you got it.
I got it. 1 out, 2 ain't bad.
We get no preseason of this.
This is our preseason. Fleming kicks it deep. Steiger looks at it, backs up to about the 7-yard line. Crosses the 10, he's to the 15, trying to come to the near side, steps out of a tackle, comes across the 25 to the 30, 35, and takes it out to the 40-yard line. Good hard piece of running by Steiger, that brings the kickoff back some 33 yards.
A couple of missed tackles and special teams for Beekmantown, and that's certainly a good individual effort from James Steiger. He ran through 2 arm tackles, one back at the 20-yard line, and after he was able to break free from that would-be tackler, he found a block at about the 30-yard line that allowed him to get to the sideline, and then raced up to the 40-yard line. So good return from Steiger, and that's a name that you're going to call a lot tonight.
Yeah, we're going to hear that a lot tonight. And he's got to have a big ball game for them, for the Hornets to be having kind of success.
He needs to have a big season for them.
Double tight, double wing out of a spread. Steiger, the quarterback, they set a man in motion. Steiger rolls to the right. He wants to run the football. Crosses the 40, bounces it outside, hit it the 45, and driven down at about the 46-yard line. A pickup of about 6 for Steiger.
Well, the man that they brought off the wing was Cody Bushy, and he threw a good block on the right side. As Steiger followed that block from Bushy, was able to find pretty good running room off the right tackle, and he turned into about an 8-yard pickup for the Hornets.
What happened to the Beekmantown scouting staff who were going to be next to it? They didn't want to play.
They were smart enough to go outside to get what breeze there is.
Oh yeah, there they are. They're over there. Okay.
They were in here for 30 seconds and realized it's a
this is not the place to be. Second down at about 3. Again out of a spread. And this time they will hand the ball on the right side. Bushy crosses midfield, and he's out to the Beekmantown 44-yard line. Got about 7 or 8 on the play for Bushy.
Well, 2 plays, and they've already crossed midfield into Beekmantown territory. That time they gave it to the man off the wing, and Cody Bushy was able to turn, running off the right side. It's another good pickup for the Hornets, and they'll have a 1st and 10. The ball sitting at the 43-yard line of Beekmantown.
So a good start for PHS. Steiger has got his instructions here on the near sideline, and he goes back into the black and orange huddle. First down, Plattsburgh at about the 43 of Beekmantown. About a minute and a half gone in the football game. Again, double tight with wings to each side. Steiger very close behind the center. The snap gives the ball to Bushy, cuts it inside, breaks out of a tackle. He's going to take it down to about the 35-yard line. Need about 8 more for Bushy.
Now, this is an offense that PHS put in last year. They really struggled running this offense, and certainly had a difficult time making things happen on the ground. But the first 3 carries have really been impressive to start their first drive of the season, as they're now approaching the 35-yard line of Beekmantown.
Right now, it's the Beekmantown defense is struggling, trying to find a way to stop it.
That was another good run from Bushy as he made a couple of defenders miss.
Second down at about 3, shy of the Beekmantown 35-yard line. Double wing. Steiger quarterback, but he's not very far behind the center, but he is behind him. It's a tight formation. Steiger fakes the handoff, rolls to his right, turns it back inside, steps down to about the 31-yard line, and is close to a 1st down. Let's see how they spot it. Looks like they're putting it down at about the 32, and that will be a 1st down for PHS.
That was a good read by James Steiger. It looked like originally he wanted to take that ball to the outside, but he read the block and was able to cut it back into the middle of the football field. And good block on Eric Labani, who was over there for Beekmantown in on the stop, but Steiger was able to dive forward, get the 1st down for PHS.
An impressive start for the Hornets offensively. Started their drive at the 33. They are now at the Beekmantown 32-yard line. 1st down there. Steiger waits the snap. Gives the ball to Bushy, trying to dance it outside, turns it back in. He's got another sizable gain inside the 25, down to about the 24 run, maybe another 8 or 9 for Bushy.
Well, I think we're seeing a pattern that's starting to develop. PHS likes to run right. Every play has gone to the right, and every play has met with 7 or 8 yards, if not more. But Beekmantown, perhaps defensively, you think maybe we overload perhaps to that side. That's where the double tight end is set up for PHS offensively.
Hornets on the move. They're down at the Eagle 23. Second down and long 2. About 3 yards to go for Plattsburgh. Steiger, the only player in the backfield. He awaits the snap. Bushy goes in motion to the right. Steiger follows him into the hole, takes it outside. He's got the first down and more. He's down to about the 10-yard line. Got another 11 or 12 for Steiger. An impressive opening drive here for PHS.
It's already the third first down for the Hornets as the clock has stopped as they move the chains on the far side. Another first down pickup. They're going to be just outside the 10-yard line, all going to the right side of the field, and all very impressive for PHS this far on offense.
There were times last year when we did Plattsburgh games, they didn't get 3 first downs in the whole game.
Oh, you're right.
They got 3 here in the first 4 minutes. First down, they are just outside the 10, so it is first down and 10. They can get a first down inside the 1. Steiger, quarterback, takes the hand, then gives it to Bushy, try to cut it back inside. Not much. Well, he slid it through a little bit of a hole, took it inside the 10 down to about the 7. That's the shortest gain they've had on all night so far. Pick up about 3.
Well, that's how Beekmantown defensively was able to get a push up the field on the outside that forced the ball carrier to take it back into the middle of the football field. But again, he was able to sidestep. It's Bushy running effectively, sidestep a couple of defenders. It looked like a play was going to go for negligible yardage. Turns it into about a 3 or 4 yard pickup.
Make it second and about 7. At about the 7. They have to get just inside the 1 to get a first down. Same formation. They haven't deviated the formation at all. Steiger runs right, cuts back. Ooh, arm tackled and thrown down for a loss maybe of a yard or 2. Did the ball come loose?
Yes.
Okay, Beekmantown says they have it, and the officials agree, and the Hornets turn it over on a fumble inside the Beekmantown 10-yard line.
Steiger was trying to get back to the middle of the field. The ball popped loose, and Beekmantown defensively, after giving up big chunks of yardage to Plattsburgh High School on the ground, they're able to force the turnover, recover the fumble, and they're going to start their first drive of the season inside their own 10-yard line. So a big play defensively for Beekmantown to force the turnover and get the ball for their offense.
How many times have we seen that happen to Plattsburgh? They get something going, and they had a nice drive, and what happens? Catastrophe at the end.
Yeah, but I certainly would be stressing the positives after
absolutely. It was an impressive drive. Absolutely. So there's first down for Beekmantown. They are in the neighborhood of their own 8-yard line. Frechette will bring them up. Bushy and Pelkey in the backfield. Wide out goes to the left. That's Weaver. We have a wing on the right side. Frechette will get up under center. I formation. Pelkey on the tail. They give it to the first man. He got snowed under, and he lost the ball loose. Pelkey's going to recover, I believe, back at the 5-yard line. It's going to be a loss of 3 or 4.
Yeah, that's going to be back inside the 1-yard line by the time they finally fall on top of it. So Beekmantown able to recover their own fumble, and it's going to be back at the 1.
Take a second down and about 17-18. Now in the shadow of their own goalpost at their own 1-yard line. 6:54 remaining first quarter. We are scoreless. First possession for Beekmantown tonight, and they're back at their own 1-yard line. Hornets may have jumped off here. Several Hornets jumped unless they were pulled off. We're waiting for the official call.
Good cadence from Carter Frechette. They needed those 5.
Drew them, but we'll wait. A lot of conferring, though, going. It's not as simple as it may have appeared because the officials are all huddled up trying to figure out who saw what. Sometimes when so many guys jump, you almost have to think that somebody drove them off. He did.
Wow.
It's procedure against Beekmantown. Sometimes when so many guys jump, you have to wonder. If one guy jumps, okay, he jumped. But with 4 or 5 guys jump, you got to wonder what happened.
That becomes a 1.5 penalty.
Yeah, it's a very small penalty. It is second down and about 18. They are inside their own 1-yard line.
Or if defense hungry, you can see them trying to get that push.
Frechette brings them up. They have the I formation. Pelkey's on the tail. Frechette wants to throw it out of the end zone, throws it up the field for Weaver. He has it at the 35-40, to the 45, up to the 47-yard line, fumbles the football, but it rolls out of bounds. So it'll be about a 49-yard gain on a catch by Weaver, and he's taken down to the 47, fumbled it out at the 50.
Well, to give credit to Beekmantown's offensive line, because that was a long play to develop. It was an out and up pattern that Luke Weaver ran, and Plattsburgh defensively was just they got caught biting on the out pattern, and then Weaver was able to turn up the field. Ball was perfectly delivered by Carter Frechette. We talked about how Beekmantown was really Plattsburgh High School was aggressive defensively trying to get that push, and the Eagles were able to find single coverage on the outside.
They're going to put it down between the 48 and the 49-yard line, but the Eagles to get themselves out of a deep hole right there, and they come out from the inside their 1 out to about the 49. First down, Beekmantown. I formation. They bounce it off the right side, and Bushy gets across midfield, maybe get 2 or 3 on the play.
And Nick Bushy trying to run to the left side. Again, Plattsburgh High School able to stand him up after a pickup of a couple. But, that combination, Frechette to Weaver, that's a combination that you're going to hear a lot.
You've got to know where Weaver
is. For Beekmantown.
Defensively, better know where Weaver is.
Absolutely. He's an in-back player for Beekmantown. He made a lot of receptions for them last year, some big catches in big football games, and that's the favorite target for quarterback Carter Frechette.
Cotting the fullback, Bushy the tailback, second down at 8 at the Hornet 49 for the Eagles. Cotting tries the middle, steps away from 1, brings it in the 40, across the 45 down to the 44, picked up about 5 for Cotting.
Kyle Trout in defensively for Plattsburgh High School. Good push from Cotting. Strong running right through at the heart of the Plattsburgh High School defense. Just putting his head down and dragged Trout with him for a couple of yards before he was finally able to trip him up.
Third down and about 2 for Beekmantown at the Plattsburgh 44, coming down to 5 minutes left in the scoreless first quarter. Hornets on a nice opening drive, but fumbled it away back at about the 1-yard line of Beekmantown. And we're going to get a timeout, an official's timeout. As one of the Plattsburgh players is coming off the field. I don't know if it's an equipment problem. The coaching staff is saying he's going back on. The officials said no, he's coming off. So now they're going to decide the substitution will go in. I'm not sure why he came out of the ball game. Second down at about 2 for Beekmantown at the 44 of PHS. Wideouts go to each side. Bushy on the tail. Frechette. Almost the football throwing deep back into the territory. Hornets try to scoop it up. They have it back at the Beekmantown 35. About a 20-yard loss on the fumble. The Hornets recover, so the teams have each team has turned the ball over.
And there was a flag that came in very late, well after the play, so this is likely going to be a personal foul against one of the teams. We'll wait and see the signal. Sports against Beekmantown.
Let's tack another 15 onto it, bring it down to the middle of the 20-yard line. So a big turnover here. Let's see if PHS can capitalize. So each team has fumbled away the ball here in the first quarter. And with the walk, it's going to come down close to the 20-yard line. But Plattsburgh will start this drive in great field position.
Well, first you fumble the football away, and then you take a bad unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Plattsburgh High School carrying some momentum now as they get their offense back out on the football field after Beekmantown hit the big play through the air. The Hornet defense was able to get a turnover of their own, and now they set their offense right back up. They're knocking on the door of the red zone already.
First down, PHS just outside the Plattsburgh 20, 4:44, that first quarter scoreless. Tight formation. Steiger in the backfield. Holm is set up, but he's just in front of him. Bushy goes in motion. Steiger rolls right head in the backfield, and he's going to be thrown for a loss back to about the 25-yard line. Loss of about 4 on the play for Steiger.
A good penetration that time from Beekmantown as Tanner Rosser was able to get through. Rosser is just a sophomore for Beekmantown, and he was able to find a lane at the line of scrimmage, knife through, and get James Steiger. The first time really that they've thrown him for a loss in the football game.
One thing you would have thought Beekmantown, when they went on defense, when kids said they were playing both ways, they would have said, listen, they're running the ball all the time to the right. They haven't run up the middle. They haven't run to the left. Everything's going to the right, so we've got to be conscious of that.
Well, if that's any indication, there was some teaching and coaching going on after the first defensive series for the Eagles on the sideline.
Second down, almost 15 for Plattsburgh, back around the 25-yard line. Bushy in motion to the right. Steiger hands it back inside to Harrington. He gets spun around right at the line of scrimmage.
The Hornets go with a misdirection play. Nathan Harrington carrying the football for PHS, and They tried to fake the handoff to Bushy and then go back with Harrington towards the left, and it certainly didn't fool the Beekmantown defensive front. It's another loss in the play for PHS, who now find themselves in a passing situation.
At least on the first two plays defensively, Beekmantown looks like a totally different team than they were the first time. They were befuddled on that first drive by Plattsburgh. It was third down, and they got about 24 to go. Maybe more. No, 29 to go.
Third down and 19.
19. Math was never my best subject. They run the ball up the middle with Hogue, and he's going to bring it down to about the 21. He's got about 8 or 9, but they're still going to be fourth and long.
Yeah, close to the original line of scrimmage, but they're in 4-down territory, so they'll keep the offense out on the field and see if they can dial up a magic play here to convert on 4th down and long.
Well, Steiger came off the field, though.
Field forward, yeah, all right. This would be pretty impressive. This is a 37-yard try.
And it is it Lazure? Is it 23? I can't tell, but it is a snap. Ball is down. The kick is high, but it's good. It is good. 37-yard field goal.
And it traveled about 37 yards in 1 foot. It just made it.
I didn't think it was going to get there at first. So Plattsburgh gets on the board first with 2:34 left in the first quarter. Lazure kicks a 37-yard field goal, and PHS goes up 3-0. High school football continues at Hometown Radio, WIRY, in 1 minute. On the kickoff, Weaver, nice return back out to about the 37-yard line, and that's where the Eagles will start offensively. Now down 3-0 after the Lazure 37-yard field goal for PHS. First down, Beekmantown, their own 37. We've got 2:27 left first quarter, 3-0 Plattsburgh.
Well, when you come into a game as an underdog, even though it's the start of a new season, you take tradition into that account, and Plattsburgh High School certainly has to feel really good about how things have gone for them to this point of quarter number 1.
Two split wide right, one split wide to the left, but they're going to run the ball without much success. Might have getting back to the line of scrimmage, and I'm not even sure who got snowed under because he got it almost as soon as he got hit. He was dropped. That was Cotting.
Yep. Yeah, Tom Cotting was the ball carrier, and he ran smack dab into the back of the center as he was stood up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play for Beekmantown.
Take it second down and 10, Eagles. Wide to the right comes Taylor. Weaver's in a slot to the right side. They have twins to the left as well. Frechette throws a quick slant inside. No, it went back outside, and it's incomplete.
Tried to get the ball out to Nick Bushy in the flank, and he was well covered by PHS. The spread offense that time for Beekmantown, trying to take advantage of the passing skills of their quarterback Carter Frechette, but the Hornets defended that well.
Third down and 10, Beekmantown. 1:48 left of the first. Hornets with a 3-0 lead. Third down, 10, Beekmantown from the 37-yard line. Carter Frechette 1 out of 2 throwing the football for 47 yards. Taylor wide right, Weaver's a slot on the right. They have twins to the left side as well. Snap, Frechette throws it over the middle. He got it there, and it's caught, and a completion to, I think, Pelk. Is it Pelk? No, it was Taylor. Taylor with the reception out close to the 49. It'll be a dozen and a first down.
Slant in the middle of the field, single coverage. The defender was on the backside of the receiver, and Taylor was able to present a good target to quarterback Frechette, who was right on target with his throw. It's a first down pickup for the Eagles as they move it out to their own 49.
First down, Beekmantown going left to right here in the first quarter, trailing 3-0. Second possession of the evening for Beekmantown. First one ended on a fumble. Weaver is heading wide to the left. Bushy's going to come wide to the right. Taylor is a slot to the right side. Frechette wants to go up top. He's throwing it long up the sideline for Bushy. He overthrows it. Bushy never even saw the ball. He overthrown.
Well,
He was looking back, but he didn't know the ball was coming.
Good pass rush from the Hornets. That forced Carter Frechette to get rid of the football perhaps a little bit sooner than he would have liked. But Nick Bushy running straight down the field on the outside. He was covered by Cody Bushy for Plattsburgh High School, and as you said, never turned to find the football.
2nd and 10, Eagles at their 49. Just over a minute left in the first quarter. Weaver comes wide to the right. They have to be conscious of him. He's their top receiver. Frechette wants to go up top, rolling right, looking down the field toward Weaver. Now throws it short, and it's complete down at about the 39 of Plattsburgh. He's got it there to Taylor, and then you got to get another first down.
Well, the Hornets are really cognizant of Luke Weaver and where he lines up in the receiver set for Beekmantown, and that is allowing single coverage on some of the other receivers, and one guy who's taking advantage is Mason Taylor. That time coming all the way across the field, and Carter Frechette again was able to find him open in the middle of the field. It leads to another first down for the Eagles.
First down at the Plattsburgh 38-yard line, down to 45 seconds, clock running in the first quarter. Eagles down by 3. Labonte goes wide to the left. They have a slot man on the left side. Taylor is wide to the right. And a whistle, and don't know. Frechette has got equipment problem. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm wondering if perhaps he's bleeding?
Nobody charged at the time. I think they get an official's timeout. Mark Haley's not quite sure why they've got it either, and so I thought I heard somebody yell water break. Well, why? You're only 30 seconds away from the quarter anyway. You're going to get water break. One more play and you're going to be done. Kind of a strange place to take the water break. I mean, I understand it, but a strange place to take it. 3-0 Plattsburgh. High school football continues on Hometown Radio, WIRY, in 30 seconds.
He was sick.
Oh, okay.
I think he just threw up on the pee. He's sitting just over there near the pee on the field.
Combination of the heat, perhaps he's not well hydrated, like we talked at the beginning of the game.
I think PHS wants to know, is that a charged timeout for Beekmantown? Is it an official's timeout?
It looked like that's what it was, an official timeout.
If that's the case, he'd probably have to come off the field for one play.
I would think so, but I don't think he came off.
Well, he's off the field.
There he goes
right now.
He's coming off now. So it's 1st and 10, Plattsburgh, Beekmantown. They are just inside the 38 of PHS. We have about 30 seconds remaining in the first quarter, and the clock is beginning to run.
That brings in sophomore Zach Myers, who is the backup quarterback for Beekmantown. How's that? Sophomore, you get thrown right into the heat.
I'm guessing he's handed off right here. Twins to the left, but I don't think they're going to be involved. Running play, Bushy bumps off a couple, found a hole, and then drives it inside the 30. Nice piece of running by Bushy. He picks up about 8 or 9 on the play, or what will probably be the final play of the quarter.
That was a play that didn't look like it was going to lead to much success until he was able to bounce off the first hit at the line of scrimmage, and then turned it into just about a first down pickup for a Beekmantown gain of about 8.
That is the end of the first quarter. 3-0 Plattsburgh. High school football continues on Hometown Radio, WIRY, in 1 minute. School, and the Hornets lead 3-0 on a Brad Lazure 37-yard field goal, the only score of the first quarter. And has Frechette come back into the ball game? Yep, he has. So Myers is probably disappointed. Hey, I went in there. We got 8 yards. What else can you ask for me?
That's really the first effective ground play that Beekmantown has had.
2nd down and 2, close to the Plattsburgh 30 as we move into the second quarter. The Eagles go right to left. Frechette turns around, gives some instruction to Bushy in the backfield. He is the lone setback. He gets the ball right side and goes forward for a couple of yards down to about the 28-yard line.
Pretty close to first down pickup. It depends on the official spot. No, he's short. It's going to be 3rd down and about a yard. As again, Plattsburgh High School is getting a pretty good push defensively, and it certainly is fouling the momentum of Beekmantown offensively and not allowing them to really break stride as the back carries the ball.
3rd down, less than a yard, at about close to the 28 of Plattsburgh. Frechette goes under center. Rolls to his left, looking downfield. He's going to take off. He's going to get the first down. Steps out of a tackle, 25, and is taken down close to the 15-yard line About a 14-yard gain and a first down for Beekmantown.
And there's a flag on the play as well, and I think it's against the Eagles. Based on the fact that everybody on the Hornet defense is clapping, it's likely some type of blocking foul against Beekmantown, but we'll wait for the official signal.
It had been a pickup about 14 yards on the play. And they're going to mark it, appears, from the spot of the foul. Holding call against Beekmantown. It'll be their third penalty of the ball game.
The flag was at the 16.
So that is going to negate the first down, I think.
And that brings it back to the 26.
10 yards, okay, yep. So it should be a first down, right?
Correct.
Right. Comes after the play, so it is still a first down for Beekmantown at the Hornet 26-yard line. Eagles with the football, trailing in the game 3-0, but in Plattsburgh territory around the 26 of PHS. Weaver's going to come to the left. He'll be the wide man to the left. In fact, he'll be the only wide out. Bushy, the tail, in an I formation. And, well, Hornet came off, but Frechette started to back up. He may have been dragged off.
I don't know. He's ill on the field.
Frechette?
Oh, absolutely.
Got procedure against Beekmantown.
He's ill on the field, Doc.
Okay, let's move it back out to the 31, make it a first down in 15. And if, well, officials time out, Mark Haley, I think, is concerned that the quarterback might be ill.
I mean, they should be. And then I'd be concerned that, folks at home that are listening can figure out what's happening, but, that we're playing in this stuff.
Yeah.
The stuff that's coming out.
Yeah. It's like my wife said they shouldn't play. They play tomorrow. It's too hot tonight. Give them all a popsicle and send them home. Come back tomorrow.
I almost like to have a big fire hydrant hose to wash the field down right now. Wouldn't want to get tackled in that area.
First and 15. Then inside here. Nope, he faked it. Frechette rolls it out, then throws it back to Bushy on the toss inside the 25, inside the 20, down close to the 15. They needed 15. I think he might have got 16 or 17. Very close to the first down.
All that time, Beekmantown running an option to the outside, and it certainly found a lot of room. A good pitch from Carter Frechette to Bushy, who was able to run towards the far sideline and bring it close to the first down marker. I think they're going to be just shy. They're going to need about a yard.
Yep, he is about a yard short. Second and 1 between the 16 and 17 at Plattsburgh. 3-0 Hornets, but the Eagles driving. Second down, less than a yard. Twins to the left, which is the wide side. Frechette gets up under center. Wants to throw it over the middle, and he is dropped in and out of the hands. He had a receiver wide open, a little slant across the middle. Unable to hold on. He's going to bring up a third down.
It looked like it was Mason Taylor who was the intended target. Taylor with a couple of receptions already, and the football game was open. It looked like it might have been one of those situations where you try to run with a football before it's in your hands.
Third down, less than a yard for Beekmantown. 9:40 left in the first half. 3-0 Plattsburgh. Bushy and Labonte go to the right side. Weaver comes to the left. Cotting is a setback. Cotting gets the fumble. Ball's on the ground. By the 30-yard line, no indication yet. Hornets say they have it. The officials say the Hornets have it. The second fumble. Second straight drive that ends in a fumble for Beekmantown.
Carter Frechette, it was a run play for Beekmantown. Frechette heads over to the sideline. He's not happy with what just transpired. And again, Plattsburgh High School with good penetration. He was not able to get to the back to give him as he was about to hand the football off. He got hit from behind, and that forced the ball loose. And the Hornets were able to recover, and Beekmantown coughs the ball up again, and the Hornet offense will go back out on the field.
The second turnover for Beekmantown. They've had a couple of fumbles now. Plattsburgh has turned the ball over once with a fumble. I think I said 30. It's actually the 20-yard line. First down PHS at their own 20. They lead 3-0. 9.5 left in the half. Harrington comes wide to the right. I think that's the first time they've split anybody. Out of a spread, 2 backs for protection. Steiger wants to run the football and slithers forward for maybe a yard or 2.
Like Matt Putnam was in on the stop defensively for Beekmantown. Not much running room for Steiger as Plattsburgh High School trying to dip into the playbook a little bit and throw some variety at this Beekmantown defense after they had figured out Plattsburgh certainly running successfully early on in the football game to their right. But Beekmantown defending well the last series, and now Plattsburgh High School trying to throw something different, a little bit of curveball at the Beekmantown defense.
Second down 9, nobody split this time. They're back to the formation they have been in most of this first half. On 2nd and 9, Steiger, nobody else in the backfield besides him. Rolls right, and takes it upfield. Gave the ball to Bushy, I believe, and he tosses the 30 out to the 35. Bushy with about an 11-yard pickup.
He got a huge block from Kyle Trout, who decleated a Beekmantown defender, just set the Beekmantown defender flying through the air, and that allowed a big pickup for Plattsburgh High School offensively. They went back to the a play that was working for them on that first drive and found success with it again.
First down, Hornets out at their 35-yard line. Harrington will come wide to the right. Tight formation other than that. Out of a spread. Steiger rolls to his right. It's a run all the way. 35 out to the 40. Throw down to the 42. Steiger gets about 5 more.
Really getting into the linebacking core for Beekmantown. Steiger getting a couple of good lead blocks, and it's like a good first down pickup for Plattsburgh High School as they start to approach midfield.
It's almost like Plattsburgh is telling you, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah,
run the ball to the right. You try and stop us, because they've run. I don't think they've run a play to the left. They ran one counter that did nothing, but
right.
They haven't run any. They've run everything to the right side.
And they have not attempted a pass yet, have they?
Nope. Third down and about 3 from the 41-yard line. And they snap one to Hogue, and he's going to pick up a yard or 2.
Running right up the middle of the field. They were looking at a second down and a long 3. He might have got 1 on the play, so almost 2. Yeah, they're down long 1 now.
Yep. They're at the 44-yard line, third down and a couple. 7:15, clock running in the half. Plattsburgh up 3-0 on the Lazur 37-yard field goal in the first quarter.
Okay, we were both thinking this was going to be 3-0 PHS halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah, I think that's what I had written down. Wide side of the field to the left, nobody is split. It's double tight, and everybody is tight. In fact, Steiger is behind, but he's only about 3 feet behind the center. And they go ahead with Hogue again, I think.
It is.
And he's going to get the first down. He gets 4 or 5 yards.
It's an interesting formation because they have both guys lined up behind center, and they're both in a position as if they're about to take the snap. There's an official's timeout on the field.
Here's the water timeout. Yep. Official's timeout, 6:46 in the half, 3-0 Plattsburgh. High school football continues in Hometown Radio, WIRY, in 1 minute. It's a first down for PHS at their 48-yard line. They lead 3-0, 6:32 remaining in the first half. Clock is running. Tight formation, but out of a spread, but nobody behind quarterback Steiger. They snap it to Hogue again, and he goes forward close to midfield. Might have got a yard or 2 before he got thrown back.
And whenever the ball has been snapped to Hogue, it's right through the nose, trying to attack the middle of the field, and Beekmantown stout that time at the line of scrimmage. Short pickup for PHS.
Plattsburgh's success has been on the ground. In fact, they haven't thrown the ball, and Beekmantown's had more success throwing the football. So the Eagles have hurt themselves with 2 fumbles. Plattsburgh hurt themselves with a fumble, deep in Beekmantown territory. Second down and 8. We got a very tight formation. Steiger awaits the snap, rolls to his right, hit behind the line of scrimmage, fell forward to about the line of scrimmage, so nothing on the play for Steiger.
Yeah, I think they'll give him the line of scrimmage. It's asking a lot from your quarterback to try to break through 2 would-be tacklers who come in totally unblocked, and he was able to snake through both of them, diving, though, to get back to the line of scrimmage. So a good effort to negate what would have been a loss on the play for PHS just to get back to the line.
I'll tell you one thing, though. Plattsburgh in this package, somewhere along the line, fakes the handoff and they throw the football. Beekmantown can't possibly be expecting. Although it is 3rd and 8, this would not really be the best place to do it because they almost think the Tigers are probably going to have to throw the ball at 3rd and 8. But somewhere in the package, it would know 1st and 2nd down, it would not be a bad play. Back inside, handoff to Harrington. He's going to lose about 3 yards.
Well, he's touched the ball, I think, a couple of times now, and it's been very limited success.
Not good.
As he was stood up in the backfield, and it's going to lead to a punting situation for BHS.
It's our first punt of the night. There's a 4th down and about a dozen.
But you're right, in the 1st or 2nd down situation, if they can get somebody down the field, Beekmantown is really starting to pack the line of scrimmage against this run-oriented offense for PHS.
Weaver and Bushy dropping back for Beekmantown, back around their 15-yard line. And it may be Lazure who also handles the punting. He's inside his 35, awaiting a snap from center. Snap is okay. The kick is away. It's a high kick. Doesn't appear there'll be a run back. It hits around the 30, bounces back up. Plattsburgh will down it at about the 32-yard line. So the Eagles, trailing 3-0, will go back on offense with 3:48 remaining in the first half. Trailing 3-0. It'll be the 3rd possession for Beekmantown. The first 2 possessions have both ended with fumbles.
Carter Vershette coming back out on the field for Beekmantown. He's been fighting some type of illness, and certainly the conditions tonight with the heat not helping that situation at all. And the way Plattsburgh has played defensively, not making him feel much better.
All right, first down. Eagles 33, down 3-0, 3:48 and a half. Bushy, the deep man in the eye, Cotting is the fullback, and Frechette wants to go up top. He's looking over the middle for Weaver, I guess, incomplete. He had 2 receivers about 2 feet from each other. Somebody had to be in the wrong spot. Almost making a big catch was Taylor, but it goes as an incomplete.
Yeah, there was a defender who was running step for step with Weaver, but Taylor was wide open down the field. The ball was just a little bit overthrown. He extended and tried to dive to make a play on the football, but a good 1.5 yards out of his outstretched reach, and goes for an incompletion on first down.
3 out of 7 for Frechette through the air for about 71 yards. 2nd down and 10. Eagles at their 33, trailing 3-0, 3:43 and a half. Beekmantown sends a wide receiver to the right. Russell's a wing to the left side. Frechette hands the ball on the left side and struggling to get upfield and crossing the 35 out to the 37 is it Bushy?
Yes.
Yep. Bushy gets about 4 or 5 on the play.
So he moves it out just shy of the 37-yard line. It's a pickup of, 3?
3-4. So down the long, about 6. Long 6. Under the 37-yard line. Next snap will be under 3 minutes. Weaver is wide right. In fact, they get twins to the right, twins to the left. Short side is the right. Frechette wants to go up top. He's looking, throws it up the sideline for Weaver, batted away by Brown, who played it well from behind and knocked it away.
He certainly had a good step on the football. He was able to break as soon as that ball came out of the hands of quarterback Carter Vershette, and he timed it perfectly. If he's a half second late, that's a completion and a first down for the Eagles. So good defense by PHS.
Fleming, I believe, is the punter. He's got a very short drop, though. He's only maybe 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He's usually about closer to 15. Here's the snap. Big rush. He gets away toward the side. It hits around the 40-yard line. And he's going to roll out close to out of bounds. A roll dead at about the 36-yard line of PHS. 2:48 left in the half. Hornets lead at 3-0. Hornets have the football at about their own 36-yard line.
Yeah, they want to play smart football here with 2:48 remaining in the first half. Get that ball, hopefully from Hornet perspective, moving again successfully on the ground and try to get this clock down to half. And certainly this has been an excellent first half for Plattsburgh High School, leading as we approach the later stages of the first half.
Yeah, at this point in time, Plattsburgh at least wants to be up 3-0 at the half. First down, Hornets at their 36, moving left to right.
And a lot of times in all high school sports, you got to get your players believing, and Plattsburgh High School on their sideline certainly should believe at this point.
There'll be a handoff. Steiger actually was a running back that time. Bushy was the quarterback, and Bushy handed to Steiger, and Steiger takes it across the 40 out to the 41. So another little wrinkle for PHS, about a 4 or 5 yard pickup for Steiger.
Yeah, he had more running room, but he was trying to make a move in the middle of the field, and his feet slipped out from underneath him.
Second down and about 3. And again, Bushy's the quarterback. Steiger's a wing to the left. And Bushy's got to go under center. And give it to Steiger again. Cuts it back inside, finds a seam, takes it out near midfield, has the first down, and about a 7-yard pickup for Steiger.
Yeah, basically, those two players have switched positions. It was Bushy who was lining up early in the football game on the wing. And Steiger, of course, taking the snap. Now Steiger and Bushy have switched spots, and there's a timeout on the field taken by PHS.
Timeout, Plattsburgh. We've got 2:04 left of the half. 3-0 Plattsburgh. High school football continues in Hometown Radio, WIRY, in 30 seconds. Have to really start to be believing that this is gone. Nobody really would have thought this was going to happen this way.
I know it's the first.
Beekmantown guilty of reading their press clippings.
No, I know it's the first football game of the season, and the old cliche is anything can happen. But coming into this football game, again, I think most people would have thought that Beekmantown perhaps was in line for a one-sided victory, but that has not been the case. Plattsburgh High School has played very well defensively. Offensively, they've made some things happen. We talked about how Beekmantown lost a lot of players off of last year's squad, and the Hornets bringing back players with some experience, but they have been able to execute, and Beekmantown has not been clicking on all cylinders in this first half, and PHS has certainly put themselves in a position where, and I mentioned a few minutes ago, they certainly should be believing that this is a football game they're not going to disappear in, that they're going to be able to, I mean, look, we're late in the first half, leading 3-0, they're going to be able to hang around in this football game, you would think.
First and 10 at the 50. Here's the time right here. Take it, fake a handoff, and roll out and throw the thing. They're in a tight formation. Bushy is under center. They pitch it back to Harrington, sweeping to the left side, trying to sweep to the left side, and take it down maybe for a loss of 1 or 2. That's, I think, the first time they've actually really run to the left side.
When they've run left, they've run more with Harrington, and he has not had much success.
No.
He's carried it 3 times now, and I think 2 of the 3 times it's been a negative yardage for PHS.
Lost about a yard there. Second down and 11. We're coming down to a minute and a half in the half. 3-0 Plattsburgh. Hornets have the ball at their own 49-yard line.
They're in no hurry.
No, they're not. Harrington is going to come wide to the right. Divide is a tight end on the right. Bushy will come out of a short drop. And they're going to throw the football for the first time tonight. They'll throw it high in the air for Harrington. Jump ball and intercepted. Intercepted by Weaver at the 25-yard line.
Well, it's a pretty good description. That's exactly what they were looking for. You've got Harrington going down the sideline, who certainly has very good size for PHS. He goes well over 6 feet tall, but I don't think he ever really was able to turn back and get good position on the football, and Weaver had his eye on the ball the entire time. He went up in good defensive position to make a play on the ball, so the Hornets turn it over. The Eagles have a minute and 8 seconds to work with, and even though they're just getting their offense on the field, they're going to use a timeout to start this possession.
That may be their first, because I think the others are official timeouts. 3-0 Plattsburgh, minute 8 left in the game. High school football in the half. High school football continues in Hometown Radio, WIRY, in 30 seconds. Plattsburgh Senior High School. I just noticed there's a blanket down here. Would you like that? Or are you comfortable with a blanket?
Yeah, you never know when there are blankets that have been, it looks like it's been there for a while. You never know what type of animals might call that home in the middle of winter.
I almost thought after the interception with just 68 seconds left of the half, Beekmantown might just be content to run the clock out and regroup at the first half, but then they use a timeout, which kind of tells you they're going to at least try to make one run at it.
Well, I mean, offensively, what they have done the best in this first half is throw the ball down the field. And when you've got a guy that can sling it in Carter Frechette and a guy that can go get it in Luke Weaver, I think you at least take one shot down the field here. And if you can make something happen with this first play, then maybe you set yourself up to continue the drive down the field. You still have 2 timeouts to work with.
Frechette 3 out of 8, although he has missed on his last 3 tries. Weaver is principal receivers wide to the left. They have twins to the right side. They're coming out of a spread. And Frechette backpedals, looks over the middle, hit just as he let it go. Caught out there and hit high by Harrington was Taylor. It'll be a first down catch, and Taylor really got wrapped by Harrington out the 34-yard line.
Now they'll stop the clock to move the chains. Taylor, with his third catch of the first half, he was wide open down the field. And Harrington in the free safety spot for PHS was able to step up and make a big hit. But a first down pickup for Beekmantown, and now they certainly are thinking about trying to march down the field through the air.
Clock starts. We're now under a minute. First down, Beekmantown at their 44, moving right to left, trailing 3-0 late in the first half. Frechette rolls to his right, wants to go up top, again over the middle, and it is again Taylor. Then he drops the football, and there's one official saying incomplete, but he never had it. So it is not ruled a catch and fumble. It's ruled as incomplete. Fortunately for Beekmantown, because the Hornets bounced on the football.
Yeah, that was Mason Taylor again across the middle of the field. I thought he made the catch and then had taken a couple of steps running towards the far side.
I thought that way too at first. I thought he had it for a step or two before it came out of his hands, but maybe he never had it cleanly. Maybe he was juggling.
Of course, his back is to us as he was running across to the far side of the field.
Second down and 10, Eagles, 44-yard line, 47.3 seconds remaining. Out of a spread, Frechette awaits the snap. He backpedals. He's looking. Throws again over the middle, and it dropped by Weaver. That one was very catchable.
Yeah, PHS is doubling him, and he had broken through the double coverage, and it was wide open in the middle of the field.
It was a nice throw. Frechette put it right in there.
Right on the money. It hit the 2 on Luke Weaver's jersey. If he makes that catch, he's going to make something happen in the open field because both defenders were behind him, and that could have been a big play for Beekmantown.
Third down and 10 from their 44. We stop the clock at 42.6. Frechette statistically hasn't thrown all that well, but they've had 3 or 4 drops here in the first half on him. Bushy goes wide right, Weaver wide left. Taylor's a slot on the left side on 3rd and 10, low snap, dug out by Frechette. He's under pressure, throws it up the field, a bump. Well, they're going to call pass interference, and he did bump him.
Well, there's 2 flags. I think they're going to call roughing the passer, and then I think they're also going to have pass interference on PHS. So there's going to be 2 penalties against the PHS defense.
I'm not sure about the roughing the pass. I know he was getting rushed, and I don't know if he hit him late or whatever the case may be. The pass interference.
Was the ball catchable?
There you go. I was about to say, I'm not sure it was catchable. It was overthrown. He did bump him. He bumped him early. There was no doubt he bumped him a little early, but I don't think he was going to be able to catch the ball. I think it was overthrown. So both flags, you're right, I think both flags are going to go against PHS. Pass interference and a roughing the quarterback. Did you see the roughing the quarterback? I knew he had pressure on him.
The initial hit was made just after he released the football, but then the defender didn't let off. He stayed right with the quarterback and tried to throw him down to the ground. I think that's what brought the flag.
All right, personal foul. Roughing the passer against PHS. That is the first penalty against PHS.
So they decline the pass interference. They'll take the 15-yard personal foul roughing the passer against the Hornets, and that marches the football down to almost the 40-yard line.
Close to the Hornet 40. Still 37.4 seconds, at least 1, if not 2 timeouts remaining. Eagles trying to put a late first half drive together here.
Hornets got aggressive trying to go to the air, and that could prove costly as Beekmantown now has an opportunity.
Here comes Weaver to the left. They have to be aware where he is. First time, Carter gets under center. And they bring it back with they kept it with Frechette. Try to roll right, then managed to pitch the ball back out. And we got a late flag coming in after about a 10-yard gain. The flag was very late. It was well after the play was downfield, so it wasn't like it was in the pit of a hold or something.
That was a really late pitch also.
It was.
I thought initially he had time to get it quickly to Bushy because I thought both defenders had committed to the quarterback. But he was able to get it very late outside. Bushy turned it into a decent pickup for Beekmantown, and now the officials are conferring about the penalty flag, which is in the middle of the field.
It appears to be against, well, I'm going to say I think it's against Beekmantown, but it came well after the ball was downfield. It came out, so it wasn't like a hold at the line of scrimmage. He goes to back it up, so it's against Beekmantown, but I don't know if it was a hold back there. It came well after the play. It was really no need to hold anybody.
The infraction, the flag was thrown back near the 42-yard line, which is behind the line of scrimmage.
And Bushy went down to about the 32, and then the flag came out to see what was going down. So the officials continue to confer. Play it off. I think it was an inadvertent drop. So they explain the call to the officials here.
So Beekmantown will end up they all have the football just about. Did they say the first down? It's very close to the first down marker.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not sure if it was a first down.
Looks like it's just shy. Well, no. It's sitting right on the hash mark.
Yeah, but the first down guy is in the wrong spot. Are they going to measure? Is that what we're going to do? Are we going to measure here?
I think boy, that's real close.
It looks like it's second and a foot from that kind of thing, although he never changed
the inches.
Yeah, less than a foot. Clock running at 25 seconds, second and about a foot. Rashad out of a spread. Wants to throw the pig's head, throws it outside, and it should have been intercepted. It should have been intercepted by Steiger.
It was well over the intended receiver, Weaver, who was running a slant over his head. Steiger was deep in coverage, and I think he was anticipating perhaps a catch on the play. Always tough to react to the ball sailing over the head of the receiver.
And if he catches it, he's long gone.
Yep. Because there was nothing on the outside of the field.
He brought it back about 70 yards. Third and a foot. Stop the clock at 17.4. Get out of the spread. Bushy is wide to the right. Weaver is wide to the left. He has slots on both sides. First shot throws it for Weaver. Broken up again by Steiger. Steiger gave a pretty good shot.
That was Weaver, the intended receiver, and he was again running across the middle of the field. That time it was perfect timing defensively from Plattsburgh High School. Steiger stepping up from his safety spot, put a pop on Weaver just as the football got there, forced the incompletion, and now it's fourth down and inches for Beekmantown.
The problem with fourth and inches, okay, you can get the first down, but you're going to probably run out most of the clock. You only got 11 seconds to work with. Unless you step into, immediately and call a timeout, you're going to lose 4 or 5 seconds. Rashad under pressure, looking, throws it up the middle, and was it caught? No, incomplete. They lose it on downs.
Navard had good pressure up the middle of the field for Plattsburgh High School, and that really disturbed the rhythm of that play for Beekmantown offensively, so they'll turn the football over on downs, and PHS with 4.8 seconds remaining in the first half will likely take a knee here and be very happy with his first half.
One of my favorite plays in football, the knee.
Especially at the end of the game.
So the Hornets, a very good first half for them. Nobody really saw this one coming. And they appear to be heading into the half with a 3-0 lead. One snap and we'll be at the end of the first half. Hornets come up over the football. Bushy, the quarterback, gets up under center. And gave the ball to Steiger, trying to come outside. He's to the 35, runs over a man out to the 37. Steiger gets about 6, and that was the end of the first half.
You know what? If I'm a PHS fan, I'd be on my feet right now because PHS leading 3-0 at the half against a Beekmantown team. That hasn't happened in a long, long time. And this squad deserves a good round of applause from their parents and fans.
3-0 Plattsburgh at the half. High school football continues on Hometown Radio WIRY in 2 minutes.
Sure was an interesting half, particularly on the Beekmantown side, where they were used to having a lot of success. At least some of the players that played along with the varsity last year, and all those newcomers wonder how volatile that whole huddle was at the half for Beekmantown.
All right. Eagles are waiting to kick off. They'll be going left to right to open up the second half, trailing 3-zip. Myers, Bushy, and is it Backus maybe? Or is it Weaver across the, it almost looks like Backus for Beekmantown on the far side.
Well, you're going to have about 50 more seconds to kill because they're waiting for the clock. At one point it was down to 0, but then some time was put back up there and waiting for it to wind down again.
Well, they want Plattsburgh to savor this first half as long as they can.
You looked into your crystal ball. A soothsayer predicting ultimate doom.
Well, I mean, it's one of those where you'd almost think from the Plattsburgh saying, "Oh, there's adventure. Something's going to happen and turn this around." But based on the first half, yeah, as you mentioned, the Plattsburgh played a terrific first half. They really did. Well, hopefully they won't reset the clock yet again and start another minute off, and we can play. All zeros.
All right, now we're ready.
And the kickoff. It's taken around. It sounded like there were whistles while the ball was in the air. Did they got to do it again, or was it just go out of bounds?
No, it went out of bounds.
I thought the whistle was already blowing what was in the air, and I wasn't sure what that was all about.
Are you hearing whistles already in your head? It went out of bounds back at about the 18-yard line, so the Eagles will start off their first possession of the second half. Pretty good field position. As by rule, with the kickoff going out of bounds, they'll bring it up to, 35?
Yeah, they got a re-kick. By rule.
You know what?
Those whistles I heard,
You're right.
They were whistles. I don't know what they were for.
Well, he signaled it was a procedure call against PHS.
Okay, so
somebody must have been too eager. It was over the 35, over the 40-yard line before the ball was kicked. So now they'll kick from the 35. You did hear whistles.
I did hear whistles. All right, let's try this again. I'm not hearing any whistles. Bouncing, did he touch it? It's got to go back. It's got to get picked up by Weaver. Coming up the sideline. He's got some sideline. He gets up across the 40 out to midfield. They have stepped out back around his 42-yard line. The ball hopped past Myers, but behind him was Weaver. He makes a nice about 30-yard return out to the 43-yard line.
It was fortunate for Beekmantown that Zach Myers ended up not putting any of his mitts on it. He tried to field the ball, but it skipped past him, and it was picked up by Weaver. And boy, he certainly was able to tiptoe along the sidelines. It looked like he was within inches of that sideline, and there were a couple of Hornets in position to push him out of bounds, but he had pretty good momentum, danced up the sideline, and was able to bring it out to the 43 of the Eagles.
Well, let's see what offensive changes Beekmantown has made to go into the second half with. They didn't do a lot they did nothing basically on the ground. Their success was in the air. Frechette gets up under center for the first play, pushes the tailback. They had two men moving. You can only have one guy moving. They had two guys moving.
This isn't Canada.
They had two guys that apparently were trying to change sides of the field, and they both decided to run at the same time. Should be procedure against Beekmantown. That's right. This is not Canadian football. So it should be a walk against the Eagles.
Yep, it's a motion call. You're right.
31 yards in penalties now against Beekmantown, and let's move it back to about the 38-yard line. Well, not a particularly good way to start the second half for Beekmantown. First down and make it first. Second down. It's a loss of down? No, that's not a loss of down, is it?
They change it back. It's first down.
Oh, thank you.
You're right.
I'm old and forgetful, but I think he lost the down. Running play here.
Oh, nice tackle.
Nice tackle on Bushy as he tried to come across the line of scrimmage.
Big Jake Richards, who was able to knife down low and take the feet right up from underneath Nick Bushy as he was running to the right side. If he breaks free of that tackle, and he gets into the the Hornet linebacking core, but Jake Richards with a nice play for PHS.
Carried a couple, 2nd down and 13. Weaver going wide to the left. Kanye wing on the right. Frechette rolling to the left, looking downfield for Weaver. He has the ball with a catch at the Plattsburgh 41. Pick of about 20 in the first down.
Yeah, it was wide open. Much of that first half, Luke Weaver was certainly well covered by Plattsburgh High School defensively. When he received that football, the defender was a good 3 yards away from him, so he was wide open, perfectly thrown by Carter Frechette, and an easy completion pass and catch for Beekmantown.
Put the ball down now at the Hornet 40-yard line. Eagles with 90 yards in the air in the first half, and they get a 20-yard pickup there. Weaver will come to the right, which is the wide side. It appears that he will get double coverage over here. And in motion to the right. Frechette pitches it back. Grabbed by Bushy, trying to get to the corner. Turns the corner and goes down to the 30. Dragged out around the Hornet 29-yard line. He's going to get about an 11-yard pickup and a first down.
A good play by Carter Frechette as the Hornets defensively committed to the quarterback. He took a pretty good hit, but right before he took that hit, a good pitch to Bushy on the outside. Frechette drawing the defense, opening up the outside for Bushy, and he turned it into a first down pickup for Beekmantown.
So the Eagles come out moving the football here to start the second half. Weaver goes wide to the right. Gagne slot on the right. Frechette rolls toward the left. Gets to the corner, throws it wide open. Is that Taylor? Yes, I think it is Taylor. Touchdown, Beekmantown Eagles. Nobody within 10 yards of him.
Blown coverage in the Plattsburgh High School secondary. They had double coverage on Weaver, but Taylor was unaccounted for. He was wide open down at about the 2-yard line. Carter Frechette was able to spot him. Again, was right on target with the pass. Taylor was able to make the catch and then take it the 2 yards to the end zone.
So they go 57 yards in just 3 plays. The 20-yard touchdown pass finishes it off with 10:22 remaining. Point after is up, and it is good by Fleming. 7-3, Beekmantown. High school football continues in hometown radio WIRY in 30 seconds.
And again, they were able to establish some running attack, and I think that opens things up for them down the field. It forces PHS to have a little more respect for the running game, and that opened up some receivers downfield, some confusion in Plattsburgh High School secondary really for the first time in the football game, and Beekmantown was able to take advantage of it, and a great start to the second half for the Eagles. But from a PHS standpoint, again, you should be playing with some confidence offensively. It's the first time now that you're looking at the wrong side of the ledger on the scoreboard, but they want to get right back to trying to reestablish that ground attack that worked for them in stages in the first half.
So the Eagles will kick off. There goes the boot. Steiger on the run, has it at the 20. He's to the 25, trying to cut across the field, turns it back inside to the 30, 35, stays on his feet out to about the 38, 39-yard line.
Good return for the Hornets. A nice job by Steiger. It was a kick that was going to land about 5 to 7 yards in front of him, so on the sprint he was able to read the kick, get up the field, take it in stride, and then picked up a block back near the 30-yard line that allowed him to get to the 35, and then eventually fought his way out just shy of the 40.
So the Hornets go on offense for the first time in the second half, now trailing the game by a score of 7-3, 10-13 left third quarter. First possession for Plattsburgh of the second half. They had a 37-yard field goal by Lazura back in the first quarter. Hornets had all their offense on the ground in the first half. Plattsburgh up over the football. They pitch it to Steiger. Was that a wingback? He wants to cut back, hit in the backfield, drop at about the line of scrimmage. A broken play, and he got broken down for no gain.
Yeah, they lined up Cody Bushy again at the quarterback spot. They brought Steiger off the wing. It was a pitch to him, and It was designed to go to the right side of the field. Beekmantown with a good push that cut off the sideline. He turned it back into the middle of the field and was able to miss one tackler and then fight back to the line of scrimmage.
Second down, he might have got a foot. Second down, still almost 10. Ball just about at the 40-yard line for the Hornets. Bushy was the quarterback on that play. Steiger went over and got a play from the sideline and comes back into the huddle with it. And he will line up as the quarterback this time. And Bushy, what is this?
Almost looks like a punt formation.
Second down.
It's going to be delay a game. They took forever.
It made absolutely no sense, though. I'm sorry. It's 2nd and 10, and you're right. It was a punt formation. Now, either he misunderstood what he was supposed to tell us as a player. That was one of the more bizarre calls.
It was a deep bag of tricks, perhaps.
It's the same lineup, Joe. It's on the 2nd and 15 from the 35-yard line.
They have the quarterback under center for, I believe, the first time.
Yep. Now they pitch it back to Steiger, getting a running start. Comes out to the 40, to the 45, taken down to the 47. He's about a yard or two short of the first down.
I don't know what that play is. Let's get the freight train rolling.
Yeah, give him some momentum.
Give him some momentum to the line of scrimmage and then pitch it to him. And Steiger was able to build up a whole lot of steam as they were running to the left side of the football field that time, putting the quarterback Bushy right under center. And he was able to pitch to Steiger and with speed attack the Beekmantown defense. That's why he was so deep. Give him 6 extra yards of momentum.
They get third down at about 2, and again, basically out of the same formation. Steiger's about 10 yards off the ball. Bushy is under center. Again, Steiger with a running start. He's got the first down across the 50, across the 45, down to about the 42 of Beekmantown. Another 10 for Steiger and a first down for the Hornets.
All right, so defensively, you see the guy that deep, and you figure, well, we're going to have time to react to where he's going with the ball, but he's getting the ball with a lot of speed and a lot of momentum, and he's just running right past some of the Beekmantown defenders.
Well, you've seen a few different wrinkles from Plattsburgh. Yeah, they've done a few different things. Now they're giving Steiger a chance to get a running start. First down, Hornets, just outside the 43 of Beekmantown.
If it ain't broke.
They keep going. Steiger again, about 10 yards off the ball, even more, maybe 11 or 12 yards off the ball. Bushy is under center. Steiger on the run, crosses the line of scrimmage, is inside the 40, down to the 38. Steiger gets about 5 more.
When was the last time you saw this play?
I don't recall.
You follow a lot of high school football games.
I don't think I've ever... It's really like an eye. There's 2 backs behind the quarterback, and then there's Steiger another 10 yards behind them, like he's in a punt formation.
Yeah, it's a capital I drawn by a 5-year-old with big lines on the paper. He's way back there, and the other 2 guys that are in the backfield, they just become lead blockers, and he reads their block.
Certainly, if Seton is here scouting, they're going to have a few things to look at. Second down and 4. Bushy under center, Steiger 10 yards off the ball, if not more. Running start. He might have started a little early.
I think he did.
Yeah. Procedure Plattsburgh.
You know, he's almost in a different area code. Maybe he couldn't hear the snap call.
That's true. He probably can't hear the snap that far back. So move back out to about the 43-yard line. Make it a second down and about 9. Clock running. Although I'm not sure why. It shouldn't have been running at that point. Now it should be running. Lost a few seconds there.
Steiger heads to the sideline.
He's tired. All that running. He's
for a well-deserved drink of water.
To get 4 or 5 yards, he's got to run about 20. And they're going to run the same formation. And Brown, although Brown's only going to be about 7 or 8 yards off the ball. And they gave it to the second ball came loose. Beekmantown says they have it. The officials say Beekmantown has it at the 39-yard line. Third turnover for the Hornets.
I think they tried to run the ball with DJ Pachalski, and he was hit. The ball popped loose. And Beekmantown will get the football right back, just as the Hornets were trying to recapture some momentum. There's a timeout on the field. The Hornets are going to use a timeout as they want to set their defense up. I think Pat Goodell and his staff realize key series now defensively for the Hornets as they need a stoppage, try to get their offense back out on the field.
So the Eagles will have it at their own 39-yard line. They're up 7-3. We've got 6:35 remaining in the third quarter. 7-3 Beekmantown. High school football continues in Hometown Radio, WIRY, in 30 seconds. Back after the third turnover of the night for PHS. They fumbled it away twice. They've thrown an interception. Beekmantown's turned it over a couple of times. So we've had 5 turnovers in the ball game. And the Eagles will get it back at their 39-yard line, leading 7-3, 6:35 remaining. Last time they had the ball, they went 57 yards in 3 plays and 28-yard touchdown pass for the touchdown for Beekmantown. Eagles get it back at their 38-yard line. And they will run Bush. He fumbles the football. Hornets say they have it.
They do.
The officials agree. Turns it right back over to BHS.
Jake Richards recovered the fumble for the Hornets after a big hit from Kyle Carpenter. Carpenter stepped in, made a pop on the football, forced the fumble. It was Bushy on the carry for Beekmantown, and right there to hop on top of it for the Hornets was Jake Richards. So a big play defensively from PHS. They'll get the football right back for their offense, and good field position. They have it at the Eagle 39.
First down, Hornets. Eagle 39, 6:29 left third quarter, 7-3 Beekmantown. A more conventional lineup. I think so. There's 2 guys I think Steiger's the quarterback. He is. The 2 guys standing right next to each other. It's hard to tell. Hands the ball to Bushy. Cuts back inside the 40. Down to about the 30. He fumbles the football. Hornets had it at first, but it rolled away. Beekmantown gets it back.
Well, 3 straight plays with turnovers. Hornets fumble it. Beekmantown fumbles it. Hornets fumble it. So 3 straight offensive plays, and the respective squads turned the football over, as the Hornets had a great chance to recover that. Exactly as you said, the Hornet carrier fumbled the ball and went right into the arms of a Hornet that was right in position to recover the fumble, but it went through his hands and eventually was recovered by Beekmantown's Matt Putnam.
So we got some fumbleitis going now. Eagles will get the ball back at their 36-yard line. 6:19 left in the third quarter. Eagles up 7-3. Frechette will bring them up. Weaver comes wide to the right. Gagne's a spot on the right side. Wide side is the left. Nobody split that way. Frechette will roll that way. He looks, he takes off. He's across the 40, 45, midfield. Picks up about 13 or 14 and a first down.
Pachowski was running with him defensively for PHS, eventually getting help from James Steiger on the stop, but not until Carter Frechette, the quarterback for Beekmantown, brings it out almost to midfield. I think they'll spot it just shy of midfield.
First down, Eagles, right just shy of midfield. Beekmantown going left to right here in the third, leading 7-3 after trailing 3-0 at the half. Here comes Weaver wide to the right. The body is wide to the left. I formation. Bushy's on the tail. Frechette wants to fling it. He's looking. He throws it short over the middle. Caught by Taylor at the Hornet 40. Falls forward to the 39. About 11. Another first down for Beekmantown. The Eagle offense seems to be getting it together.
Yeah, good check off by Carter Frechette. He was looking downfield to Luke Weaver, who was well covered by Plattsburgh High School. So he then was able to check off to another receiver who was underneath. It was Mason, who again was wide open. And the Eagles really seemed to be clicking in this second half on offense outside of that turnover in the last series. Plattsburgh High School defensively seems to be much more confused now, wondering what's coming at them next.
First down just inside the Plattsburgh 40. Frechette under center. Rolls out, looking, has pressure. He's hit the back here, got away, rolls to his left. Rolls back to his 40, but fling it up the field. He's going to throw it away, out of bounds, incomplete. Otherwise, he was going to take about a 20-yard loss.
And Navarre had a real good shot at him, and he tried to reach out and knock him down with his right arm, and Frechette just ducked it, and then was able to scramble. Eventually, he was well out of the pocket and just dumped it out of bounds to prevent what would have been a huge loss.
So make it second down and 10, just inside the 40-yard line.
seemed to be some confusion right off the snap because Frechette in the drop almost ran into the man moving up the field from the backfield behind him.
Weaver's going wide to the left. Taylor is the tight end to the right side. Man in motion back to the right. Frechette rolls right, short side. He'll run with the football and bring it down to about the 35. Got 4 or 5 on the play.
Carter Frechette certainly highlighting things here for Beekmantown in the second half, making things happen on the ground. We saw him earlier in this third quarter with a big carry to the left side of the field, throwing the ball effectively, and that's certainly the role that he's going to have to fill for Beekmantown, try to pick this team up on offense, and that's what he's done so far in the third quarter.
Third down and about 5 for Beekmantown at the Hornet 35. Beekmantown with a 7-3 lead. Wide side to left. Well, we were sided that way. Now he's going to come back to the short side. Now he looks like he's not sure where he's supposed to be. Now Taylor's going to go wide left. Bushes go slot. So we're going to go twins to each side. And timeout Beekmantown. You could see they just weren't quite sure right from the get-go where everybody was supposed to be. So the Eagles are going to use a timeout here on a big play, 3rd and 5 at the Plattsburgh 35-yard line. We were starting to go split left, and then all of a sudden he said, no, I guess I'm supposed to be split right, and then other people split left, and by the time they could get everybody settled, Mark Haley said, let's put a stop to this. Let's make sure everybody's on the same page, so we'll take a timeout. And a big timeout at 3rd and 5 at the Hornet 35-yard line. You want to know what you're doing down here.
Yeah, the balance for Beekmantown in this third quarter has been more effective. They've been able to run the ball with effectiveness in the third quarter. I think that has helped them set up the pass. And now looking at a 3rd and 5 situation, there was no question what they would have done in the first half. This ball was going in the air, but I think they've run with a little effectiveness now, and that might at least have that in the back of the minds of the Hornet defense that Beekmantown perhaps could look at this as a possible running play, maybe in a position to look at this as 4-down territory.
So the Eagles huddle up with head coach Mark Healy on the far side, toward the far sideline, to make sure that they get the right play called. Everybody's supposed to be where they are. There was confusion when they came out of the huddle. Hornets trying to make a defensive stand here and get the ball back in their own territory, down 7-3. Past the midway point of the third quarter. Again, we're going to go twins to each side, but I think they flip-flopped on the sides that they were. Out of the spread with Frechette. He wants to throw the football. Throws a quick over the middle. It is caught by Bushy. Hit about the 20-yard line and down at the 20. He gets about 15 and a first down.
Wide open in the middle of the field, and the ball was kind of lofted by Carter Frechette. He spotted him quickly, and Bushy was never really pressured defensively by PHS. He had time to make the catch and then pick his head up, turn up the field, and pick up a couple more yards.
Actually, the best pass defense for Plattsburgh tonight is the rush that they've been able to get on Carter. Their coverage has not been all that good. Beekmantown's had guys wide open much of the night.
The one series for Beekmantown where Plattsburgh High School did a good job defensively in the secondary was when they got the ball back with like a minute 10 to go in the first half.
Yep.
And they were in an obvious pass situation. I thought the secondary for PHS, particularly the safeties, did a good job stepping up, forcing some incompletions. But Beekmantown's really had their way in the pass game in the third quarter.
Twins to each side, and here comes a flag. Is this a delay? Yep, delay a game against Beekmantown. Sixth penalty of the night on Beekmantown. There were about 36 yards in penalties. They were back out across the 25-yard line, making a first down and 15.
The play was slow coming in from the sideline, then very slow coming out of the huddle. They had just got to the line of scrimmage when the flag came out.
Weaver and Bushy go left. Taylor and Labonte to the right. Frechette under pressure, throws it up the middle. Man is open, ball's tipped up into the air and intercepted. Ball got tipped up into the air, then picked off by Laundrie at about the 17-yard line.
Well, again, that interception is forced by a safety stepping up. That's right, the rush initially, and then a safety stepping up perfectly timing the hit that forces the ball up into the air, and then Dustin Laundrie was in a good position to look up, find the football, make the interception, and the Hornets get a big turnover right when they needed it. But again, you're absolutely right, Duck. The Hornets were able to force that interception with the pressure that they were able to get on Carter Frechette.
Hornets take it back at their 14-yard line, trailing 7-3, 3:05 left in the third. A lot of turnovers in this second half so far. 4. Just in the second half. From the 14-yard line, Steiger rolls to his right, now tries to turn it back inside. Really nothing to do in there. He might have struggled toward the 15, got a yard, but nothing more than that.
It's not been offensively a real pretty quarter for the Hornets. Outside of those freight train plays that they were able to get going with Steiger, it really has not been a pretty third quarter for PHS on offense.
They give him a yard, second down and 9 at about the 15-yard line. Plattsburgh has only put the ball in the air one time tonight, and that was picked off. Bushy dog quarterback. Steiger's in motion. They get it back on the inside handoff, and knifed out. It was Harrington right at the line, and he may be shaken up after picking up about a yard.
He's been on the sideline earlier in the football game as well. Looked like he was dealing with some cramping issues, but he got chopped down. A good tackle by Beekmantown defensively, and he is still on the field.
He had picked up a yard. Mike Donnelly coming out to take a look at Harrington, the ball carrier, down after maybe a yard. The officials are telling both sidelines to bring water onto the field.
Harrington, a sophomore, playing on the varsity for PHS.
The Hornets have only thrown the ball once. This is I'm not sure this is the place you want to throw it up there again. Back inside your own 20-yard line.
They were certainly, even on the one play, it's not a situation that they want to find themselves in very often, looking at a third down and long, but on the one pass play, it was more of just a jump ball, throw it down the field, and Harrington was the receiver on that play, and they just were hoping with his size, he would be able to go up and come down with a football.
The Hornets really have shown no passing game tonight, and the Eagles now, after not doing particularly well in the first half, stopping the run, I think are putting an extra man or two in that box and say, we're not worried about the pass anymore, we're just going to try to stop your run. And almost telling the Hornets, okay, go ahead and throw it.
Yeah. It's 3 yards and a cloud of dust, or in this case on the turf field, it's some of those black marble rubber pellets that get picked up.
Harrington up, walking under his own power to the near sideline. Comes out of the ball game. Third down and 8 for Plattsburgh. At about their own 16-yard line, down 7-3 with 2:15 left in the third. Again, the Hornets have only thrown the ball once, and it was intercepted. Plattsburgh breaks their huddle. Cody Bushy coming wide to the left. They haven't even split many men tonight.
I think it's just the second play that they've done that.
Yep. Steiger is the quarterback. He's out of the spread. Now they want to throw it. Throws it toward Bushy. Bushy makes the catch out about the 23-yard line. He looks like he might be just short.
Oh, they're going to rule incomplete.
Oh, he didn't
hit the turf.
Hit the turf first? Okay, incomplete pass.
So the Hornets will have to punt the football away.
Only the second punt. For Plattsburgh, only the third punt of the game. Beekmantown's only punted once. Wheeler and Bushy back at about their 45-yard line. Steiger standing at about his 2 or 3 yard line, awaiting the snap from center. It's a good snap. And Steiger, nice high kick. Ooh. Hits around midfield, rolls across midfield, 45. There'll be no return. Plattsburgh will watch it roll dead at the 43-yard line of Beekmantown.
That's a ball that was in the air for such a long time. That's a ball that you'd like to see your deep men come up and get in the air. And certainly, I think if Beekmantown does that, they're probably going to start this possession on the Plattsburgh High School side of midfield. Instead, they let the ball hit the ground, and they will start at their own 43. So you consider where he was punting from. That's pretty good effort from James Steiger.
Yeah, nice high kick. So the Eagles get it back at their own 43-yard line with a minute and a half left in the third quarter, up 7-3. But have shown some offense certainly in this second half. They've lost one on a fumble and have lost one on interception and have a touchdown. They're on their fourth possession. Wheeler wide left, Bushy slot left, Taylor comes wide right, a slot man on the right. Frechette wants to throw it, throws it off the sideline, underthrows, Steiger picks it off, 35-40, 45-50, 45-30, 35-30, sideline, 25, it tripped up and taken out at about the 20-yard line. About a 40-yard return to the interception by Steiger. Fifth turnover for Beekmantown.
Well, Steiger is a man that's making things happen for PHS. That ball was in the air for a long time. He was able to read the football, had his eyes on the ball the entire time. Once it was released by the quarterback, he was able to step onto the football and then just raced up the sideline. You knew it was going to be a big return because there was nobody on the outside. Beekmantown eventually was able to get some of their offensive linemen to the outside and push him out of bounds, but not until he was able to bring it back inside the 30-yard line all the way down to the 25 of the Eagles.
So a great return after the interception by Steiger. And Steiger will stay in, and he'll take that deep drop, some 10, 12 yards off the ball. First down, Plattsburgh at the Beekmantown 25. Bushy pitches it back to Steiger, running stack, trying to cut inside, steps away from one, takes it down to about the 20, about a 5-yard pickup.
He got a good block from Lazure right at the line of scrimmage. That allowed Steiger to get a lane to the inside and pick up those 5 yards.
They get a second down and 5. We are under a minute in the third quarter, and the clock is ticking. It's down 7-3, but now deep in Beekmantown territory at about the 20-yard line.
Same play? Same play. Steiger's got to be, his tongue's going to be hanging.
When he gets 5 yards, he has to run 15-20 to get there.
They just had that long return on the interception.
Again, here's Steiger trying to run to the left side. No running room. The ball's on the ground. Eagles have recovered, and yet another turnover.
Ethan Kerr on the recovery for Beekmantown. The ball is a big hit right behind, just beyond the line of scrimmage, actually just behind the line of scrimmage. And that forced the ball to pop out. Kerr was able to find it, jump on top of it for the Eagles. Another turnover from PHS. Boy, turnover is the key word of this third quarter. There's been a bunch of them. The Eagles get the ball back at their own 23.
Both teams have committed 3 turnovers in this third quarter. 6 turnovers in the third quarter. Eagles dodge a bullet, get it back at about their 22 with 25 that could be 35. I don't know if the light bulb or two is out. Say the 25.1 or 35.1 left. Frechette brings them up. Under center. And hands off, and immediately stuck in the backfield was Bushy for a loss of probably a good 5 yards.
Devin Richards was able to get into the backfield that time, and as soon as the ball went into, was it Cotting or Bushy?
It was Bushy.
As soon as Bushy got his hands on the ball, he was hit by Devin Richards.
And that's going to be the end of the third quarter. 7-3 Beekmantown. High school football continues in hometown radio WIRY in 1 minute. Let's get the early score of the third quarter, a 28-yard touchdown pass from Frechette to Taylor. But actually the big story of the third quarter were turnovers. A fumble and 2 interceptions from Beekmantown and 3 fumbles from PHS. And let's see, the Eagles now have 5 turnovers in the game, and Plattsburgh also has 5 turnovers. So 10 turnovers in the game. I mean, you might expect some of that in the first game, but I'm not so sure.
You'd expect 10.
Yeah, 10's a lot. 10's could be a season, half a season.
Well, something that both coaching staffs in the upcoming week certainly will address in practice, but a lot of times from the PHS standpoint, it's the ball carrier, and in Beekmantown too, when they've fumbled it, just trying to fight for that extra yardage, and in a couple of cases, it's been a couple of big hits defensively that have forced the turnovers, but still you got to take care of the football and hang on to it.
Second down and 15, Eagles. Frechette trapped in the backfield and thrown for a loss back at the 9-yard line.
Well, a couple of Hornet defenders converge for PHS. One of them was Kyle Carpenter. Navard was also in on the stop for the Hornets. It's a big loss for Beekmantown.
Yeah, lost about 10.
All the way back to their 10-yard line. They need to punch it out to the 32 to get a first down. So they're looking at a third down and, 22?
Yeah, and you got to be a little bit careful when you're back at your 10-yard line. You know what you're going to do.
It wasn't that long ago in the third quarter, I was talking about how PHS seemed to be a little more confused defensively. Well, they haven't been confused on this series.
Nope. Being old school, I quick kick.
That is old school.
Yeah, you don't even remember a quick kick, do you?
That's used to be an effective ploy.
Frechette wants to throw it up the sideline for Weaver. Harrington. Harrington had it go right through his hands.
Oh, boy, the Hornets would have had great field position. Harrington went up trying to come down with that ball. He would have been about the 34-yard line, and he was playing center field on that, and it went right through his hands.
And the Eagles are going to have to kick it away from about their own end zone here. The Plattsburgh figures to get the ball in pretty good field position. Running gets a kick away. It's a high kick. Steiger comes a flag. Steiger wasn't able to catch the ball. They're going to call, I think, a penalty on Beekmantown.
Sure.
Steiger came up, but the Beekmantown defender hit him before Steiger could get to the ball.
Absolutely. And that happened at the 38-yard line, so PHS is going to start down around their own 28 of Beekmantown.
He was not allowed to catch the ball. The defender hit him just as he was going for the ball.
And that should be a spot foul. It happened down at the 38.
Quick cross though. He threw the hanky, but he had a little trouble getting it out of the lock.
A double clutch?
It's not something you see all that often. I think all of a sudden he saw it. He said, "Wait a minute, they can't do that."
Right.
Yeah, and he double clutched it.
He didn't signal for a fair catch or anything, but he had no chance to even make a play on the ball.
He was going to come up and going to get the for the
and it was a wise play. It was a risky play because he was stepping up to try to get the ball out of the air. We talked about Beekmantown, how earlier in the football game they didn't do that. It cost them about 15 yards, but Steiger was trying to be aggressive to get up and get that football, and they'll march it down right to the 30-yard line. That's where the Hornets will have it. So first and 10 for PHS at the Beekmantown 30-yard line. Hornets have been beset by turnovers. Both teams have in this second half. Let's see if they can make something happen on offense here and try to get the lead back. They've got great field position.
Trailing 7-3, 10:52 in the fourth quarter. Tight formation. Bushy under center. Steiger on a wing. Looked like he moved too quickly. Yep, procedure Plattsburgh. 35 yards and penalties for Plattsburgh tonight, and 51 yards and penalties for Beekmantown. Penalties and everything you would expect on your opening game.
Yep, those types of penalties.
Yep. We get first and 15 Hornets back at the 35-yard line. Steiger strolls back into the huddle for PHS with the play from the near side. Hornets going left-right, trailing 7-3. Tight formation, Steiger wing on the left. Carpenter wing on the right. And another flag. Now you suspect the officials are working on commission. Offsides Beekmantown.
Encroachment, yeah.
You begin to think they're going to get commissioned for flags now. So now we're back to first and 10. At the Eagle 30-yard line. Same formation. Bushy is under center. Steiger comes in motion. They gave it to Hogue up the middle, and he moves the pile down to about the 25. Got about 5 yards out of the play. Kept the legs churning.
That's the type of first down pickup that this type of offense needs. We talked about this earlier. They can't find themselves in third and long situations. So you get 5 or 6 yards on their first down carry. It's exactly what the doctor ordered offensively for PHS.
On for about 5. Second down and 5. Just outside the Eagle 25. Steiger wing to the left, Carpenter wing to the right. Hong was set back behind, Bushy was under center. Tight formation, no split. Second and 5, Steiger in motion, they pitch the ball. Steiger cuts back in, got back to the line of scrimmage and was taken down there, no gain.
Nice play defensively. Beekmantown's Eric Labonte was down on the ground and was still able to find the presence to reach up and trip up Steiger. Minimal gain for PHS. He moved about a half yard right to the 25.
Third down and 5, although they certainly are in 4-down territory. Third and 5 at the Beekmantown 25. 9.5 remaining fourth quarter. Clock is ticking. Steiger leisurely wanders back into the huddle. And the Hornets walk up to the line of scrimmage. No urgency. Bushy down the wing of the left, so Steiger is the quarterback out of his spread. Bushy cuts back in motion. Steiger wants to ping it. Goes to the outside. It is complete to the sideline and is brought down to about the 10-yard line on the completion to Mavard.
I was right on target. Mavard was wide open past the first down marker as he was running to the near sideline. The pass from Steiger right between his numbers, and he was able to take it inside the 10-yard line. They'll mark it at the 9.
First down and goal to go. Steiger again will run the play. They snap it back to Hong, and Hong is trapped in the backfield. He's going to lose a yard or two this time.
Yeah, he bounced it outside right into the arms of Nick Bushy. That play was designed to stay between the tackles, but there was no running lane. He tried to bounce it outside. Good contain on the outside from Nick Bushy, who was able to wrap him up.
Look at second down, and they moved it just outside the 10, so it's second down, goal to go from a little more than 10 yards away. And Giblat come up. Carrington comes wide to the right. Navarre is tight on the right. Corson is tight on the left, and we have a whistle. And we have a hanky.
Looked like the Eagles jumped first. The Hornets eventually moved on the line, but it looked like the movement on the offensive line was because of the encroachment. Yep.
It is encroachment, Beekmantown, who have hurt themselves with penalties tonight. Beekmantown just outside the 5-yard line. Second down and goal to go. Plattsburgh. PHS breaks the huddle. Steiger will be the quarterback. Bushy's going to go wide to the left. Navarre tight on the right side. Steiger has a man behind him. And it goes inside handoff. It's going to struggle inside the 5 to maybe the 3 or 4-yard line. Was it Hong again?
I believe it was, yeah. Yep. And that pile just kept on moving. It looked like he was going to be stopped just past the line of scrimmage, but the push from the Hornets was a good one. They worked the ball all the way down to about the 1-yard line. Turned into a pickup of almost 4.
Third down, goal to go. For about the 1. Plattsburgh trailing 7-3. Bushy goes wide left. Steiger out of his spread. Harrington is behind him. Hong is next to him. Steiger. Gives it to Hong. And straight ahead toward the goal line. Nope.
No, it was a good initial surge from Beekmantown defensively. He was stopped just shy of the goal line. The Hornets are looking at a 4th and goal from about the half-yard line, and they're going to take a timeout and talk about this play.
No, you got to take it now. I mean, you don't never pass this way again. You better be sure you got what you do down here.
The ball is spotted just inside the 1, so it's almost a full yard that the Hornets have to punch this football in across the goal line.
You know, I think I put Bushy under center. I put Steiger 12 yards back and let him run for it. I mean, have they ever stopped him for negative yards since they've been in that?
They forced a fumble, and on that play, it would have been maybe at the line of scrimmage. It might have been negative yardage.
Yeah. But for the most part, they've always picked up yards. They only need a yard here, not even.
Well, I would give Steiger a shot at it here. I thought they would have on third down.
Yeah, I know. Surprised too.
Hong has been a good back for them, getting some of the tough yardage between the tackles, but I thought they would have given Steiger a shot at the end zone because he, as well, I think not only does he bring that toughness, but he can make somebody miss if you try to get it outside.
Well, and the Steiger 12 yards off the ball.
That's what they're going with. The old freight train.
There you go. Running start. Is there anybody who doesn't know who's going to get the ball?
Now that would be a trick.
Fake it. Yeah. Harrington's the quarterback, so I don't know. And they didn't give him the ball. And I don't think he got in. I think Hong got the ball. They stopped him on the 1 foot line. So they used Steiger as a decoy. And he counts up about a foot short.
Wow. It might have been Bushy on the carry for PHS, and they lined up Harrington under center.
That's true. It may have been Bushy.
And I think it was Bushy who tried to punch it in. Yep. So,
which is a good idea, really, because I thought Steiger was going to get the ball.
And they are spotting the football
at a foot,
inches off the goal line. Now, obviously, Beekmantown feels real good about that defensive stand. It keeps the lead for them as we're halfway through the fourth quarter. But now PHS defensively, you get a stop here and you have another shot at it.
Time. There's 7:04 left. You should get it back in a lot of time. So Frechette brings it up at about the 1 inch line. Double incomplete pass. Incomplete pass. The say it was a fumble. The official said no. Incomplete.
Was he outside the pocket? Was there an intended receiver anywhere near there?
I think his arm got hit as he let it go.
The flag just came down at the goal line.
That I don't know what that would be about. I think it was one of those, like, remember in the end of it, was it Brady when the arm went against Oakland, that snowstorm, the arm started to come forward?
Oh, yeah, I got no problem with that. But was there a receiver anywhere around? I mean, if there's no receiver around, you could say that's intentional grounding in the end zone.
You could, but then you could say because the contact hit his arm, he wasn't able to throw the ball to wherever he was going to throw it, and the force of the blow. Procedures to call against Beekmantown, it's declined.
Okay. It would have cost him about 2 millimeters back to his leg. Because that's all there is, separating the football from the goal line.
There's no sense taking a 2 inch penalty. I'm surprised they came out of throwing it. I'm trying to throw it out.
Well, remember the big play they got from this position in the first quarter?
They'll throw it. They got a man open. Is that Taylor? Yes. He's to the 20, to the 25. He fumbles the football. Hornets, I think, have it back. They do.
Oh, man.
Unbelievable.
Bushy on the recovery after Mason Taylor came off the line of scrimmage, and he was totally uncovered by PHS. So he was able to make the reception and then raced up the field and was eventually hit in the secondary, a fumble. I think it was Harrington who made the initial hit. The ball was popped loose, and then Bushy was able to recover it for PHS, so they'll get the ball back at the 34-yard line of the Eagles.
This will be the third straight drive of the Eagle, side of Eagle territory for Plattsburgh. This one will start at the 34. 7 turnovers in the second half. Hollis got it right back. Harrington's going to come wide to the right. Steiger's the quarterback. Steiger wants to fling it. He's throwing it long for Harrington. It's up in the air and a bump.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
I saw exactly what you saw. I thought he got hit before he had a chance to make a play on the football.
I mean, I guess you could say the guy was going for the ball as well. It was up for grabs, but that was borderline pass interference, I think, there.
Plattsburgh High School trying to catch the Beekmantown defense flat-footed as they go to the air on the first down play.
Well, Plattsburgh has showed a lot more imagination. They've done things tonight that you just, they've changed it up. Like the fake with Steiger using it as a decoy. They throw here the first down at the 34. Steiger's going to go wide to the left. Bushy goes under center. Steiger comes in motion. Steiger has the ball, trying to cut across the field, turns it up a step, gets to the 35, and is taken out close to the 30. Good hustle. hustle by Steiger because I thought he was going to get thrown for about a 5-yard loss, and he turned into about a 4 or 5-yard gain.
One of the guys in pursuit was Weaver, and make that Bushy rather, and Bushy was running right with him step for step, but then Bushy tripped up in the middle of the field, and that allowed Steiger to get outside and turn it into a positive carry for PHS.
Should have been a 5-yard loss. Instead it was a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, but the guy who had him lined up stumbled on his shoelaces.
Third down and about 6 at the Beekmantown 31. Eagles living dangerously. Now they're going to have Steiger again, about 12 yards off the ball on 3rd and 6. And they'll pitch it to Steiger. Line of scrimmage, and that's about it. He might have got a yard, no more than that.
Yeah, he punched it down to the 30-yard line, and now PHS is looking at a 4th down, long 5, almost 6 situation, and the clock is something that's in consideration now with 6:15 remaining. They've only got one timeout left, right?
I'm not sure they really want to burn it with 6:10 left. And I think you've got to throw it, to be honest with you. They haven't run the ball that well in the second half that you've got to go up there and pick up over 5 yards. I don't know. I mean, they haven't thrown the ball that well tonight either, but I don't think they can do it running.
They're taking a long time in the huddle. They better hurry up.
Steiger will be the quarterback. It is a tight formation. They're 4th down, a long 5. Steiger goes toward his left. Stop, throws it up in the air, and it will go incomplete. He got hit just as he tried to let it go.
That play had no chance. Penetration, Mason Taylor getting up the field. Steiger had no chance to get his feet underneath him. Really didn't have an opportunity to even look down the field as he was getting popped as he tried to throw it. So he couldn't get his feet underneath him, and it goes incomplete. Hornets turn the football over on downs.
Beekmantown takes it back at their 30, leads 7-3 with 5:32 remaining in the ball game. The Eagles had lots of trouble holding on the football. 4 turnovers in this second half, 6 in the game. And yet they're still up 7-3. Burchett puts it down. Inside handoff. Cotting comes across the 40 out to about the 43. It's about 13 on the play.
And best carry of the game for Tom Cotting as he was able to get into the Hornets secondary. Pickup that moves the ball out to the 44-yard line of PHS.
First down Eagles at their 44. On the next snap, we'll be down to about 5 minutes remaining.
Be some tongues dragging on both sidelines.
Yep.
Hornets defensively substituting in a lot of different players trying to get what's left in the tank.
I would think the Eagles really want to try to churn out some first downs on the ground to keep that clock running now. Again, it's Cotting, and this time he will bounce off the tackle, get out to midfield, and drive forward for a couple more. Cotting looked like he was going to get maybe a yard or 2, wound up getting about 8.
Yeah, ran through an arm tackle right behind the line of scrimmage. It would have been a loss on the play, but he was able to break through that tackle and then turned it into a good first down pickup.
Second down and 2, 4:40 of the clock running, remaining in the fourth quarter, 7-3, Beekmantown. Eagles not in a lot of hurry now. They want to chew up clock. Second down and 2. A body, a wing on the right side, I formation. Bushy on the tail. A body comes back, gets the football, dances outside, 45, 40, 35, 40, out of a tackle, down to the 26. About 23 in the first down.
Put a good move at the line of scrimmage on one Hornet defender who left him just standing in his wake and then was able to race past another defender in the secondary. As the Eagles running the ball effectively at the Hornet defense inside 4 minutes by the time this play gets off should be somewhere around the 3:45 mark. Beekmantown effectively grounding it out.
And now they've moved the ball into Plattsburgh territory at the 26 of the Hornets. Burchett goes right with the option, runs it upfield, keeps the football, comes down to about the 15-yard line, and is close to another first down. In fact, I think maybe they're going to measure. Yeah, we're going to bring in the chain gang here for a measure.
The first time in the football game, isn't it?
Yep, I believe so. So it's either first down or third and inches. Or second and inches, actually.
Right. Got it.
It is a first down. Eagles try to look like they're trying to put it away. Hornets trying to come up with a defensive stand and get another crack at it.
At worst, 3 points. You can't give up more than 3.
Nope.
You only got one timeout to work with as well, PHS.
So a first down outside the Plattsburgh 15-yard line. The Eagles have come out of the huddle. Now they go back into the huddle again. Gagne goes a wing to the right side. I formation, Bushy on the tail. Cotting the fullback. Pushette under center. Gives it to Cotting right side, cuts back in, takes it down to about the 10-yard line. Cotting for 5, maybe 6.
The Eagles have done an excellent job hanging on to the football this drive. PHS is in a position now where they really need to try to ball hawk and force a turnover. The Eagles are looking to throw the knockout punch.
Almost a 7-yard pickup. The ball is just inside the 10-yard line. Clock is running, 2:45 remaining. 7-3 Beekmantown. Wide out to the right, but I don't think he's going to be involved. Burchett gets under center. Cotting tries the left side. Struggles forward for a yard or two. Did not get the first down. They'll pick up a third down and 2, but on our next snap we'll be under... No, we get an official's timeout.
Well, they're going to measure.
Are they? We use that close? Really? I didn't think he was that close. You're right. Here comes the change. I thought he was a yard or so short.
They're going to spot it inside the 9, it looks like. He is short.
Yeah, he's short a foot. Well, the only good thing momentarily is stop the clock for Plattsburgh.
Actually, they've got it spotted down almost inside the 6, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard with all the soccer lines. It's hard to figure out what line is which.
That's what it is, just inside the 6-yard line.
Yep. Clock is running again. It's there in less than a yard for Beekmantown. A first down here, which should put the game away, barring a turnover. Burchett under center. Burchett gives the ball to Bushy, finds the opening, has the first down, take it down around the 2 or 3 yard line, get 3 or 4, the first down.
There was good pressure through the middle of the field from Plattsburgh High School, but back Nick Bushy was able to avoid that rush from the Hornets, was able to get to his right, get the first down yardage. Now first and goal for the Eagles.
First and goal for about the 2, and Plattsburgh will use their last timeout. So it is 7-3 Beekmantown, 1:43 left in the game. High school football continues in Hometown Radio, WIRY, in 30 seconds. They're about 3 yards from the goal line, 1:43 remaining. The Hornets trailing 7-3 have used their last timeout. So the Eagles can run out the clock, and as you were mentioning during the break, Beekmantown really could just take knees and finish off the ball.
It almost would be risky business to try to
off the ball. They couldn't do it with all the fumbles and turnovers that's in this game. I'd almost be a little worried about handing the ball off to somebody or trying to even hand it off.
They could take 3 knees here and finish things off.
Although I agree with you, and I think that's what I would do. I don't think that's what they are going to do, though. So Burchett will bring him up. I also don't think they're going to throw the football. Just a hunch.
Yeah, good call.
Cotting is the lone setbacks. Burchett under center. There's a Cotting right side, heading for the goal line. He's going in. Touchdown. Beekmantown he goes.
Well, just a reward for Tom Cotting because he picked up some big yardage for Beekmantown on that drive. It's a knockout punch. The Eagles will put 6 more up on the board, now 13-3 with a point after try pending. A very effective drive done on the ground by Beekmantown to finish this game off.
So Cotting with a 3-yard run for the touchdown. Coyne will try to have the point after. The slap, the ball is up, the kick is no good, wide right. Timeout on the field. It is now 13-3 Beekmantown. High school football continues in hometown radio, WRRY, in 1 minute. Getting set to kick off. They have a 13-3 lead with 1:37 remaining in the ball game. Cotting goes for a 3-yard touchdown. Fleming's point after was no good. And the Eagles, who had their handful especially in the first half with PHS, and then dodged some bullets in the second half, and Plattsburgh had 3 straight drives inside the Beekmantown 30, but the Eagle defense stiffened and came up with a big play where they needed it.
Man, that was the huge play, that 4th and goal from the 1-yard line.
So the kickoff. Taken by Steiger back around the 5, to the 10, to the 15. He's 20, 25, and down around the 28-yard line. The Hornets are out of timeouts.
And they're not very comfortable at throwing the ball down the field.
24, Cody Bushy. First down for the Hornets at their own 30-yard line.
So they need points in a hurry. And they don't quite have the offense to make that happen.
Nope. First out, they put it down at the 30.
But I would think Packadell and his staff are going to take a whole lot of positives out of this football game. Absolutely.
Yeah, they should be pleased with what they did tonight.
They have not really done anything foolish in this football game.
Nope.
They have fought hard. They've hit hard. I think the tank is empty, more so for PHS. I thought we saw it on that last defensive series. And, I think he has to feel as though his team has worked hard throughout this football game for him.
Darrington comes wide right. Steiger wants to throw the football, throws it up there, long up the middle, nowhere near anybody, incomplete.
Was that Steiger? I think that was...
Was it?
Lazure.
Oh, did they change it? Another change?
Yeah, that's who it was. It was Lazure throwing that ball down the field.
Second down and 10 from the 30. For the Hornets, trailing by 10 with 1:23 remaining. Harrington again coming wide to the right. I don't think they've ever split any more than one person. Lazure, the quarterback now. Lazure wants to throw, throws it to Harrington, overthrows him.
Throwing into double coverage on the outside.
Well, when you only got one wide out, there's not too many guys
That's
you got to
pretty
pick
good.
up.
Bushy had the coverage underneath, and Livesey was the deep man in coverage for Beekmantown. Both were perfectly positioned.
Third down and 10 for PHS from the 30-yard line. Lazure rolls toward his right, looking for Harrington, throws it up the side and batted away and incomplete. A bat away from behind by Livesey.
Late flag. That's sportsmanlike conduct against Beekmantown. That will give PHS a first down. And that will give Coach Haley a reason to not be very happy.
Coach Haley's not going to be happy with the turnovers and the penalties.
15-yard penalty against the Beekmantown Eagles. That's sportsmanlike conduct.
After the incompletion, one of the Beekmantown defenders, I think, had something else to say to the Hornet quarterback.
75 yards and penalties for Beekmantown and 7 turnovers. So those are not going to go. Those will be talked about in practice.
Sounds like the Oakland Raiders.
First down at the 45. Lazure rolls toward his right. And to throw it up the field for Harrington. He's overthrown him.
The guy who's doing a nice job is Craig Livesey in coverage. He's right with him step for step. That previous play where there was the foul, the flag rather, against Beekmantown, he was able to reach in, get a hand on the football, force the incompletion.
Second down 10, Hornets from their 45. 109 remaining. Hornets need a quick strike and an onside kick. Another quick strike. All easier said than done. Harrington, perhaps getting a little winded, again comes wide to the right. Azur rolls out to his right. Now he's going to throw one for Brown up the middle. It's up there, and it is knocked away incomplete on the far side.
Weaver was in coverage that time. Single coverage down the field with Brown, and went right through his hands. It's a ball that if Weaver picks that off, he would have had a lot of real estate going the other way.
Third and 10 from their 45. Azur's coming there flinging. He's 0 for 5 throwing the football.
You haven't had any cramps during this game, have you?
Not yet. I think I swallowed the fly, though, about 5 minutes
Nice
ago.
job. You fought right through it. Was that coughing spell that you had there for a while?
I don't know where that came from. Wasn't all that tasty. Third down and 10 from the 45-yard line. Azur again. Throws out in the flat to Bushy. Got away from one. Crosses the line of scrimmage. Bounces off a couple tacklers out to about the 49. So a short pickup of 3 or 4 on the play. They're going to fourth down and 6 with 45 seconds remaining. They go no huddle.
Eric Labonte in on the stop for Beekmantown.
Could be the final play of the game for PHS. On fourth down at about 6 or 7. Azur wants to play it. Rolls to his right, looks downfield, he's going to throw it long down the field for Harrington. Oh, he can't hold on at the 12-yard line. Ball was pretty well thrown. Hit the receiver the worst place you could hit him, in the hands, and it goes incomplete.
It was a flag. Flag that was thrown down about the 12-yard line.
Really?
I'm thinking the same thing. That was...
What you were thinking?
That ball was just a ball that was dropped. Perfectly thrown down the field. Pass interference on Beekmantown. I thought that was well played by the Eagles.
I did too. It was just a flat-out drop. The ball was well thrown by Azur. Harrington has to come out. He's got cramps.
For about the 38th time in the game.
They get a first down now at the Beekmantown 37 with 30 seconds remaining. Azur rolls toward his right. He's looking. Goes it. It is trapped, incomplete. Down around the 15-yard line.
That ball was underthrown. Going down to the turf to try to make the catch was Devin Richards.
Second down and 10 from the Eagle 37. Azur, 1 out of 8 for 3 yards. All on this drive. He's got Brown wide to the right. Azur rolls to the right. Got to throw it back across the field intended for Bushy, and it is incomplete. I think Weaver was thinking pickoff over that far side. He didn't quite get there.
Yeah, that's
and then all of a sudden he got concerned that he was going to run into the big interference.
Back across the grain, all the way down across the field to Bushy. And the ball was just, initially Bushy was open, but it's such a tough throw to make, getting it all the way across the field. The ball's in the air for such a long time, it gives Weaver a chance to get back in on the play and make a good defensive stop.
Third and 10 at the 37 of Beekmantown, 16.4 seconds remaining. Orange and black over the football. Azur awaits the snap. There it goes. Rolls toward his left. He's looking. He's got to throw it long up the field. It will be incomplete.
Yeah,
He's getting a lot of practice.
Trying to hit the tight end, Devin Richards. Yeah, they bring him in out of the bullpen where they got to go deep.
And he's 1 out of 10 for 3 yards, all in this one drive. 1 out of 10 for 3 yards. You wouldn't think you would have had much of a drive, to be honest with you, but they got that pass interference call helped them. Now it's 4th and 10. And again, what could be the final play of the game, certainly the final play of the game for Plattsburgh if they don't come up with 10 yards. Missouri just now coming back toward the huddle to call what could be their final play. Plattsburgh walks up to the line of scrimmage on a 4th down and a long 10. Missouri ready. Throws out, we get a wide out, the wide out's going to throw the ball, and it is incomplete. So he threw it to the wide out Sherman, and then Sherman tried to throw it downfield, but it goes incomplete.
It's the final play of the football game.
Thankfully. It was starting to drag it.
Yes, it was.
All right, final score here at Plattsburgh Senior High School. It's Eagles after a 1-0 start. Beekmantown beats Plattsburgh 13-3. High school football continues on Hometown Radio, WIRY, in 1 minute.
That's going to wrap up our Plattsburgh.com and hometown cable coverage of high school football. The Beekmantown Eagles defeat the Plattsburgh High School Hornets by a score of 13-3. Certainly something for Plattsburgh High School to build on going into next week's game against Seton Catholic, a game that we'll have for you right here on Plattsburgh.com and hometown cable. Hornets stuck with the Eagles the entire way. They come out on the short end of the stick tonight by a score of 13-3, but certainly a great effort on the part of Plattsburgh High School, and it's one that Coach Pat Goodell and his entire staff can be proud of. So thanks to Kendall Matat for his work on camera tonight, and thanks to Ducky Drake and Rob Knowles from Hometown Radio WIRY for allowing us to tap into their call of the broadcast.